Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well with your loved ones and enjoying whatever season is upon you. Where I am, it's summer now and our summer season is pretty short. So we have a very long winter and very small window into the summer. So I love this season and I have a little bit of backyard where I do gardening, and as you can see it has rained before, so everything is so beautiful and crisp. And to mention that I have been absent from posting, and that's because a lot of my free time after being a full-time mom and having a full-time job goes into the backyard. So I have a lot of videos, but I have not had time to edit and do the voiceover to post them. So I decided that why not I just share part of what I did before, like the cooking videos, and also post these videos where I show what else I do, and that's hopefully interesting for some folks. And full disclosure, I'm not a professional gardener, but I love gardening, so I'm hoping that sharing some of these tips and tricks may help some of the beginners, or some people will give me some feedback and help me improve what I do. So as you can see, these are the seedlings I started back in at the beginning of the spring, and I do start my seedlings early on because, as I said, we have shorter summers, so giving them this head starts help get the planting or the whatever I'm growing time to fully flourish and grow. So these are my zinnias, which I planted, basically putting a handful of seeds in a little box with dirt in it. And I will save as many of them as I can, since as you can see, I have a lot of them. And basically, the point is that anyone can have a garden nowadays. They have made it so easy that you can garden in your verandas. You can do it like in very small areas that you have. So basically, it takes a little bit of planning and the love of gardening. Of course, if you enjoy gardening like I do, then this is basically therapy for you, especially for folks who are a little bit older, and or for kids. If you involve them, they really enjoy taking part in working with you in learning, while in the meantime you're beautifying your gardens or producing some of the fruits and vegetables, which I think the crooked fruit or food vegetable you pick up from your garden, the satisfaction is just amazing. How much you love having that cricket tomato than buying a bag full of it from the market. As you can see, these are some of the strawberries on the strawberry plant that I have, and my kids just they love coming to this plant, and anytime there is one that has turned slightly pink, they eat them and enjoy. And having that closeness to the nature where you can pick from the plant and serve yourself, it's just a different feeling. And as you can see, I have a lot of tomatoes in different flowers, and I have some fruit trees that I have started from seeds. This one is actually a quince or bihi, we call it in Farsi tree. And then for zinnias, all I did was put them in the pots and water them. And usually I do that, and once they're big enough, then I can put them in the ground. And I do that because it helps them get strong enough to fight the elements. So now I think it's time to fix some supper, and for that I'm going to do something simple today. So I'm going to make some white rice or chilao, for which I have soaked the rice few hours earlier. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to boil the rice in water, adding a little bit of salt, and cook it about 95%, or depending on the texture, you can make it softer or harder, however you like it. And then for the gravy for the rice, I'm going to take some of the rice white water and add a little bit of oil, salt, and some crushed cumin seed powder. And then let it come to a boil before adding it to the rice that we had boiled earlier. And then we are going to put it on the auto steam using a clean kitchen towel, putting it on low heat. And then, as I said before, for the rice, you can make it as hard or as soft as you like. For chulao, you usually they like it's not like a sticky rice, so the grains are really separated and it's kind of fluffy. and the texture is firm but not hard. And the rice grain, since it's a basmati rice, it's very elongated and pretty looking. In the fact that you boil and remove some of the starches out of it, they say it is healthy for people who are looking to lower the calories. So as you can see, once I put the rice back and added the gravy and mixed it in, I'm going to make some holes and then a clean kitchen towel and put it on them. For the meat dish, I am making a type of stew or korma as they call it. The meat I have is a veal, but you can also use goat or lamb meat for this dish. And the rest of the recipes, as you can see, are very basic ingredients, and this is the main ingredient which will give that distinct flavor and add a lot of nutrients. This is basically dried green or yellow plums that turn into this golden color. It beside giving your recipes or meat dishes that distinct flavor, it also has a lot of vitamin C, which helps with the iron absorptions. So for the meat, we are going to start by shallow frying it a little, so to get rid of any meaty smells. And once again, to zoom in on the golden plums or the specific or special ingredients, so these you can buy in any specialty stores or buy it online. Once the meat is somewhat ready or has turned its color, then we are going to add the onions. We are not going to fry or cook the onions in the oil. We're just going to stir it a little bit with the meat, and the idea being that it's more healthy to not fry your onions. Then we are going to add roughly chopped tomatoes. I have roughly chopped it one because it's going to be pressure cooked, so everything will be soft and will mix in anyways, but also that I want to remove some of the tomato skins. That helps having the consistent or smooth gravy. So next we're going to add some boiling water, and the idea there being not to use cold water is that the meat is hot, and if you add any cold water, that changes the temperature of the meat and it changes or interferes with the cooking time. So it's always best to use hot water. Then we are going to add the salt before closing the pressure cooker and cooking it up to 2 whistles, or depending on the type of pressure cooker you have or the meat you have. And also, if you're using goat or lamb, you do not need to use a pressure cooker. You can use a regular pot to cook it. But veal is a little tougher meat, so you do need to cook it in a slow cooker or a pressure cooker. Otherwise, it will take longer to cook it. But you can do that as well. So as I was picking the tomato skins, I realized that some of them have softened, so we can just leave them. And then we are going to add some chopped garlic and ginger, which I forgot to add earlier, but we can add it now and cook it with the meat. Let the water dry a little bit and cook it, and add the plums as well at this point. And once the meat or the onion and the tomatoes and everything has fully blended or mixed into the gravy, and then we are going to add the additional ingredients, which is we are going to add a tablespoon of tomato paste for the color, the potatoes that we have cut, and the pre-soaked chickpeas, along with the spices, and put the pressure on for another vessel. And just as simply, our dish will be ready to enjoy with the rice, or you can eat this as a dip, however you like it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and do make sure to hit that bell icon if you want to be notified next time we upload a video. And I should mention that your subscription, which is totally free, and feedback keeps me motivated and keeps me going. So thank you for supporting your channel, and thank you for watching. As I was closing the day, I looked outside the window and noticed that some of these birds have been playing under the pear tree that we have there. And I don't know what sort of bird these are, but they come, and there are so many different birds during the summer that visits this part of the world, and they're just beautiful, different colors, different sounds, and it's very soothing. So thank you again.